Welcome to Workshop 4. This is all about great grains. So make sure you follow along with your script for Workshop 4 for the entire thing. As students come in, they'll grab snack, they'll sit in their same table groups as before. You'll hand out the attendance sheet so everyone can sign in, hand out raffle tickets to those there on time, and give them their folders. So the first 10 minutes is the mentor debriefing, same as usual. They'll go over their goals and the food and activity journals. Then the nutritionist will teach the nutrition lesson. So for Workshop 4, again, it's about great grains. The students can follow along in their lifestyle curriculum on pages 9 and 10. And the topics for this lesson are what foods are found in the grains group, what's the difference between whole grains and refined grains, how do you shop for whole grains, and then we kind of talk about dining out, how you can make healthy choices dining out, and mindful eating, which is an interesting topic. So the nutritionist will go over all of that, and then the activities for Workshop 4. The first one is a whole grains worksheet. So students will open up their workbooks to page 10, titled Whole Grains. Just have them kind of go over. They can either, volunteers can read it out loud, or if they want to talk in their table groups just about the 3 parts of a grain, what makes a whole grain. And while that part's being read, you're going to pass around to each table group one of these little baggies that has a small container of rice kernels, and it has some little sheets of sandpaper. So what the students will do is take one of the rice kernels and 2 pieces of sandpaper, and they're going to sand that piece of rice using the 2 pieces of paper. Then they'll discuss what happened to the rice, what changed nutritionally, and if anyone has any questions, they can always ask the nutritionist. And then at the bottom of the whole grains worksheet, there's a list of 12 different grain items, and then there's 6 lines and what we want them to do is put the whole grain ones in the list above into those lines. And then they'll show their answers. You have the answers in your teacher manual on page 11. So the second activity for Workshop 4 is a mindful eating activity. So for this one, students are going to turn to page 11 in their student workbooks. Ask for volunteers to read the first 2 sections. So what is mindful eating and steps to mindful eating. So they're going to read those 2 sections. As they're reading those, the intern or someone can hand out the raisins. So what they're going to do is open the box of raisins and give 1 raisin to each student, and make sure that they don't eat them before you start the activity. So they'll just hold on to that while it's being read. Then you're going to do the mindful eating activity. So in your teacher manual on page 13 is your script. So what you'll do is have the students, relax, sit back in their chairs. If they're comfortable, they can close their eyes, and you're going to read through this script, and it's going to be their kind of mindful eating experience of eating the raisin. You're going to walk them through step by step. It's a long process. I would kind of encourage the students to try not to look at each other, because then they start giggling, but we want them to really try to focus on this, because it's a really good lesson to learn how to eat mindfully. Really important for a healthy diet, for weight management. Lots of good can come from mindful eating. So you'll walk them through that activity. Afterward, they're going to kind of write their experience using the bottom of page 11 in their workbook. So they're going to write what senses came up. What was their hunger and fullness before they started eating? What were some descriptive words for their sight, the smell, the mouthfeel, the taste, and then what was their hunger and fullness level after? So they'll fill that out. If anyone wants to share their answers, then they can get a raffle ticket. So that's it for the activities for workshop 4. Then there's going to be a 10-minute post-workshop connection with the mentors, where they again create goals for the following week and answer any questions that come up. So for and that's also when the interns are going to go around and stamp their completed food and activity journals. Something that's different with workshop 4 is the students are going to get the Students Teaching Families worksheet handed out. So this can be found in the box 1 for workshop 4 packet. So this packet has the Students Teaching Families worksheet. Hand these out to the students, along with, we have Small Steps to a Healthier You booklet that they're going to give to their parents. We have these in English and Spanish, so they can choose which ones their parents would prefer. So they'll go home, they're going to give the booklets to their parents, talk about what they've learned in Imagine Health, and then together they're going to fill out this worksheet, and then they'll bring it back at workshop 5, and they'll be eligible for the raffle at culmination. So once the students have gotten those, then make sure that you collect their folders, except for their food journal, which they take home. You can do the raffle, and then they're dismissed. And make sure you do the mentor debriefing at the very end and just check in with the mentors. The intern will put in the attendance, and that's it for workshop 4. Thanks again, and have a great time.